Now, if you'll recall, in that original design sketch, I had this orange highlight right here between the nose cone and the rest of this body. And that highlight was just me being designery. I was just like, you know what? It needs a color hit. It needs color somewhere to make this thing interesting in the profile view. But I had no idea what that was going to be for. And so here is a design tip for you. First of all, adding decorative details like that is expensive. It costs money. It always costs money to add material to your product. And so you need ways of justifying that, right? Well, a good way to do that is to tie it in with the functionality of the product. And so here's a great example of one way we might do that. For example, this bracket, if you'll notice, is still floating out in space. It doesn't have a way of connecting with the rest of this housing. It's just floating there. And so what we can do is have it come back to this intersection point, and we can use the intersection of the cone and the body in order to kind of mount this in place and also end up with our orange highlight in the process without having to justify that to anybody. So this is a great little lesson both in terms of SolidWorks, but also just getting what you want as a designer. I'm going to open up this bracket part in its own window. And let's head into the Master Model Import feature under the Sketch Geometry, and I'm going to find that sketch that shows me where that intersection point is between the nose cone and the rest of the body. We'll be needing that. I'm also going to show that original surface body because we'll be needing that as well. Now, the first thing to do is to go to the right plane and create a sketch, and I'm going to sketch a line that goes from this point to that point, each end of this split line here. And then I'm going to go to my features and extrude that. Now, it's going to be a thin feature, obviously. It would have to be because it's an open profile sketch, but it doesn't have to be 10 millimeters. Let's make it 3 millimeters. And I'm going to go forward with that. You can see that the thickness is going straight forward from my line. If it were going the wrong way, then I could flip my thin feature to the other side in one direction, and that's what I want. And then instead of blind, let's go up to surface, and I'm going to go straight up to this exterior surface and hit OK. And that's actually going to be a great start for us. This is what that orange highlight is going to be comprised of. Next, we're going to need an offset of this surface. So let's grab that surface and head to the Surfaces tab, over to Offset Surface, and we're going to bring this in by 3.5 millimeters, let's say, and hit OK. And then hide the exterior one. And just so that we're not visually confused here, I'm going to go into my appearances once again. I'm going to use one of those default appearances and set this to yellow. So it's really easy to visually differentiate that from the original surface in case we show that again later. Now I want to go to that same original sketch that I just created. Let's actually scroll down here, find that extrude feature, and there's that sketch we created. Let's do Features, Extrude Boss again. This is another thin feature, but instead of one direction, we're going to do mid-plane, so it goes both ways, and we'll make the thickness, I don't know, let's say 20 millimeters. So it's really wide, going out both sides. And once again, instead of blind, we're going to go up to Surface. We'll choose that Offset Surface. And yes, if we want to, we can go ahead and merge result because it's going to merge with that interior piece. We'll hit OK. Now we can hide this offset surface, and we're left with the beginnings of our bracket. Now all we have to do in order to finalize this is hollow this out and then connect it with the front piece. We'll start by hollowing it out. Let's do a shell command. Select that face, and that face, because those are the ones we want to get rid of. And then under the parameters, let's make this a 3 millimeter wall thickness and hit OK. That should leave us with just a hoop ready to be used. We can mirror that across the right plane. And this is going to be bodies to mirror, not features to mirror. We'll choose that body. Yes, merge solids, and hit OK. All right, now we can hide that original sketch. And let's go ahead and try to connect these two pieces together.